Good evening. Welcome to Asia Newsline. I'm Lipakshi Khurana. Here are the top stories we're tracking for you on Wednesday, the 16th of May. At least 18 killed after flyover collapses in northern India. MQM-Canada holds anti-Pakistan protest in Toronto. And Taliban pushed back in Afghanistan's Farah city, says governor. And now for all the details. At least 18 people were killed and dozens trapped in North Indian city of Varanasi after a flyover collapsed on Tuesday evening, crushing vehicles beneath it. Many of those trapped were reported to be labourers who were working on the flyover.
At least 18 people were reportedly killed and several others were feared trapped under the rubble after a part of an under-construction flyover in India's northern Varanasi city collapsed on Tuesday. The incident occurred during late afternoon, after which rescue teams including India's National Disaster Response Force or NDRF and Uttar Pradesh Police reached the spot. Cranes were also deployed to clear the debris to rescue trapped people.
मैं घटना स्थल से करीब 50 मीटर दूरी पे था। अचानक धड़ाम से आवाज हुई, चारों तरफ चीत्कार शुरू हो गए। करीब आधा दर्जन से ज्यादा गाड़ियां उस पिलर के नीचे दब गई जो है। बुरी तरह से लोग मर गए, सारे लोग चारों तरफ हाहाकार मचा हुआ है।
Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi tweeted that he was extremely saddened by the loss of lives and asked officials in the state to provide all possible support to those affected.
राज्य सरकार की तरफ से मृतक परिजनों को 5 लाख रुपए की सहायता और जो वहां पर गंभीर रूप से घायल हुए हैं उनको 2 लाख रुपए की सहायता के लिए हमने आदेश किया है। एनडीआरएफ, यूपी पुलिस और अन्य संगठनों को राहत कार्य तेजी के साथ वहां पर करने के निर्देश दिए गए हैं।
Temple town Varanasi is located in India's most populous province, Uttar Pradesh, and is a popular destination among spiritual foreign tourists. Building collapses are not uncommon in India. Lax and poorly enforced construction standards amid booming demand for housing have resulted in frequent and deadly collapses across the country.
After a dust storm hit India's national capital, New Delhi, early on Wednesday, the Weather Department has issued a warning anticipating similar weather conditions across North India for the next 72 hours. The high-velocity dust storm uprooted trees and damaged electricity poles across New Delhi.
A strong dust storm struck India's national capital, New Delhi, during the wee hours of Wednesday, uprooting trees and damaging electricity poles. Trees fell like sticks due to the squall and crushed cars in New Delhi's Lodhi colony area. India's Weather Department has issued a warning for next 72 hours, anticipating similar weather conditions across large parts of North India, including Delhi.
हाँ, आवाज आई तो हम फिर भाग के बाहर आए तो देखा हमने कि मतलब पेड़ गिर चुका था, गाड़ियां दब चुकी थी हमारी।
Earlier on May 13th, a dust storm had ravaged the capital. Storms are common at this time of the year, the beginning of the rainy season in South Asia, but the severity of the weather this year and the loss of human life has been unusual.
Moving on, members of Muhajir community's mainstream political party, Muttahida Qawmi Movement, recently held an anti-Pakistan protest in Canada's Toronto city. The protesters blamed the Pakistani establishment for sponsoring terrorism and inflicting gross human rights violations against Muhajirs in the country.
Muttahida Qawmi Movement or MQM's Canada chapter recently organized a protest against enforced disappearances, arbitrary arrests and gross human rights violations inflicted upon Muhajirs in Pakistan. They shouted pro-freedom slogans and blamed the Pakistan army for promoting state-sponsored terrorism. Muhajirs are Muslim immigrants whose descendants migrated from various regions of India after the partition of India in 1947 to settle in Pakistan.
जो लोगों की आज़ादी को सल्ब किया जाता है, उनके बुनियादी हुकूक को सल्ब किया जा रहा है। पाकिस्तान को एक ऐसी रियासत बना दिया गया है जहां किसी भी तरह से इंसानी हुकूक लोगों को मैसर नहीं। आइन के तहत दी गई बुनियादी आज़ादी से महरूम हैं लोग। लोगों को सच बोलने का हक नहीं, लोगों को सच सुनने का हक नहीं। जो सच बोले उसको उठाकर उसकी सरबजीदा लाशें सड़कों पे फेंक दी जाती हैं।
The protesters claim that MQM, a mainstream political party of Muhajirs, have been facing an announced ban on its activities in the Pakistan. They accuse the voices of persons who try to highlight the gross human rights violations by Pakistani forces are muzzled by using force.
In news from Afghanistan, Provincial Governor of Afghanistan's Farah province on Wednesday said around 300 out of thousands of Taliban insurgents who fought their way into Farah city on Tuesday have been killed. Meanwhile, residents of the city are still raising concerns over Taliban's presence in the city.
Around 300 insurgents have been killed in the day-long attack by almost 2,000 Taliban insurgents in Afghanistan's western Farah province's capital city, Provincial Governor Abdul Basir Salangi said on Wednesday. Salangi said the Taliban stormed the city in the early hours of Tuesday morning and were pushed back early on Wednesday. The Taliban launched a large-scale attack, with security forces defended the city, including the buildings of National Directorate of Security, Police Headquarters and Farah City Hospital. The Taliban has not yet confirmed their casualty toll. Meanwhile, residents of Farah are still claiming the presence of Taliban in several areas of the city. Residents of Farah had been warning for months the city was vulnerable, and the attack appeared to threaten a repeat of the Taliban's capture of the northern city of Kunduz, which fell briefly in 2015.
More news from Afghanistan. A girls' futsal qualifying tournament to select players for Afghanistan's national team concluded in capital Kabul city on Tuesday. The tournament for girls was organized after 20 male futsal teams participated in a similar tournament held last month.
A week-long girls' futsal qualifying tournament, which was being held in Afghan capital Kabul, concluded on Tuesday. The final match of the tournament was held between Istiqlal and Tawana teams, which ended with 5-2 score in Istiqlal's favour. There were 8 teams who participated in the tournament, out of which only 3 teams made it to the National Futsal League.
بعد از برگزاری لیگ سرتاسری فوتسال ما تیم ملی فوتسال به عنوان خاص داشتیم و اونا 100% به مسابقات خارجی اشتراک کردند.
در این تورنمنت ما مقام دوم گرفتیم، نایب قهرمان شدیم و این قسم تورنمنت ها باعث از این میشه که فوتبال بانوان رشد کنه.
The tournament for girls came after 20 men's futsal teams participated in a similar tournament held in Kabul last month. Such tournaments are being seen as initiatives to empower women in the partially conservative country. The aim of the tournament was also to improve futsal and select qualified players to represent Afghanistan's national team.
As many as 60 monks gathered in the North Indian hill town of Dharamshala on Tuesday to participate in the first ever debate on teachings on Lord Buddha's Kal Chakra or the cycles of time. The Kal Chakra ritual is an esoteric but for Buddhists a very important rite for activating dormant enlightenment.
About 60 monks scattered in the North Indian hill town of Dharamshala on Tuesday to participate in the first ever debate on teachings on Lord Buddha's Kal Chakra or the cycles of time. The event was held at the main Buddhist temple, Sukla Khan, and was organized by the Nangyal Monastery with a special focus on preserving the centuries-old Tibetan Buddhist tradition of Kal Chakra ritual. While most of the participating monks were from the Nangyal Monastery itself, 3 of them from the Buddhist Science and Mind Institute.
You can say the Nangyal Monastery is the only one here in India who have well preserved the tradition, the Kala Chakra tantric practice of the Kala Chakra, not only with the ritual, the prayings and everything, making mantala, ritual dance, ritual making offerings, ritual practice. Especially the Namgyal monks have a special responsibility of assisting His Holiness the Dalai Lama while he gives the empowerment.
Kal Chakra initiation is one of the most important ritual and teachings of the Tibetan Buddhism offered by the Dalai Lama. The Kal Chakra ritual is an esoteric, but for most Buddhists, it is very important for activating dormant enlightenment.
With the holy month of Ramadan just around the corner, Muslims across India are thronging markets for the last-minute shopping. Subject to sighting of the new moon, the holy month will start later this week in India.
Muslims in India's northern Agra city were seen thronging markets on Tuesday to make last-minute preparations ahead of the beginning of the holy month of Ramadan. Ramadan, the 9th month of the Islamic lunar calendar, commemorates the revelation of Quran, Islam's holy book, and has traditionally been a time of religious fervor, settling old disputes and behaving charitably towards neighbors. During the holy month, Muslims across the world observe fast during the day and feast with their families and friends after sunset.
इस टाइम रमजान का मुबारक महीना शुरू होने वाला है 1-2 दिन से, तो हम लोग तैयारी कर रहे हैं बड़े दिल की खुशी होकर के और शॉपिंग कर रहे हैं। रमजान का महीना आने वाला है तो अच्छे से तैयारी करने में लगे हुए हैं और अच्छे से शॉपिंग कर रहे हैं और इंशाल्लाह अच्छे से रमजान मनाएंगे।
Meanwhile, similar scenes were seen in western Surat city, where people thronged grocery shops and markets in search of provisions for the upcoming days of fasting and feasting.
हमने खरीदी में तो कस्टर्ड पाउडर, जेली है, फिर सब मसाले है, सब शरबत की बोतल है, सब लिया है। और मनाने का तो जो हर बार करते हैं वही करते हैं। सुबह में जल्दी उठ के सेहरी करते हैं, शाम को इफ्तारी करते हैं।
Muslims scan the sky at night in search of the new moon to determine the start of the holiest month for the world's more than 1 billion Muslims. After 29 or 30 days, the festival of Eid al-Fitr marks the end of Ramadan and the beginning of the next lunar month called Shawwal.
The global sport of rugby is gaining popularity among girls in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province. The Sports Council of the Valley is making efforts to promote the sport and help the enthusiasts make a career in it.
Girls in India's northern Jammu and Kashmir province have picked up the usual sport of rugby, defying all odds. Rugby enthusiasts are getting special training from professional rugby coaches in a rugby ground that has been sanctioned by the Jammu and Kashmir Sports Council recently to promote the sport. A whiff of fresh air is flowing on the secluded rugby grounds of summer capital Srinagar as young girls are coming out on the field to play the game.
श्योरली हम इसको प्रोफेशनल स्पोर्ट में कन्वर्ट कर रहे हैं और जो हमारी ये नई जो हमारा जो लाही अमल है वो है एक रग्बी एकेडमी को डेवलप करना, एक रग्बी स्कूल को बेसिकली डेवलप करना, जिसमें हम ऐसे बच्चों को ले जिनकी हम एजुकेशन का खुद ख्याल रखें और उनको एक प्रोफेशनल रग्बी प्लेयर्स में कन्वर्ट करें.
To make the girls more professional in rugby and train them properly for competitions, authorities have organized special rugby training camp aimed to maintain their physical fitness.
और अभी जो ये कैंप हो रहा है हमारी फिटनेस इसमें बढ़ जाती है, एंडोरेंस बढ़ जाती है, डेवलपमेंट, फिजिक, ईच एंड एवरीथिंग, और हमारे में इसमें हमारे करियर ऑप्शन ज़्यादा है, हमारी फिटनेस इससे बढ़ जाती है. तो वी आर थैंकफुल टू आवर कोचेस, आवर मेंटर्स, स्पोर्ट्स काउंसिल, ईच एंड एवरीवन हु आर इंडल्जेड इन दिस.
The girls are hoping that the training will help them maintain health and earn a better living. Female rugby was introduced in the valley in 2004, and since then many enthusiastic young women have come out from the region to participate in the sport.
Well, that's all we have for you from South Asia this evening. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/SAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @SAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.